I seen that. I seen that the other day.
And
Like,
y'all, it's live.
like we just meet everywhere, right?
Oh yeah.
Just
And
a big
y'all are
joke.
live.
He keep telling us, and we are live. Trevor, scoot up. Trevor, you look good on here.
I look afraid of you.
Don't be afraid of me, Trevor.
You already said that you're gonna hurt me for calling you Miss. I remember that voicemail yesterday.
Trevor, I don't know what you're talking about. It's all love and harmony, especially while we live, Trevor.
Yeah, the second the camera turns off, and then the bruises come.
Hold on, Trevor. Let me share it to a few groups. Trevor, you gotta share it to some of your groups too.
I think we're part of all the same groups, all right?
No, I'm not a part of the Republican National Convention group.
Oh, all right.
I'm not a part of all your groups.
I am there.
The Republican for Life group or whatever they call it.
Genesee County GOP.
Yeah, Genesee County GOP. Yep, I'm not a part of that one.
I just gotta find where we're at because I am not good.
We are
with the
live
face.
on 810
Yeah,
News
on my
Media
page.
Group.
I'm going through like every page but that
And
one because I'm not that smart.
Mickey Jordan's page.
There we are.
And we're about to be live on Wyntis Hall's page.
Share to a page. GOP. Select a page.
He shared it to GOP too.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at you, Trevor.
As soon as I can get that up. There we go.
But to share it to some people in Messenger.
Patriots. That's great. Like this. And then Genesee County Republican Party.
Genesee County Republican Party.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Genesee County Democratic Party. I'm gonna share it to the Democratic Party.
We'll see if Matt Smith allows it up.
Who is Matt Smith?
He's our chairman.
They be kicking me out of the groups. They won't let me post nothing. I'm gonna try it again.
I think Judy will go for it though. But I don't think
Judy.
she's got admin on there.
Judy Priestley. Did you send it to Judy?
No, she'll see it pop up on the timelines.
You think she on Facebook this early?
It's not early for her.
Oh, I forgot. It's early for me.
She's up with the sun. So that's the best way to say it.
Okay. Let me share it on my page. And now.
Yeah. I always wondered what you're doing fiddling with your phone at the beginning of every stream.
Because see and I'm glad you said that, Trevor, because I told my producer that I needed 5 minutes to prepare.
Oh.
Because I like to give my listeners their full attention because they expect to hear from me for a full hour, and then Mr. Jordan doesn't allow that.
No, just jumping straight into it this time.
Right. Good afternoon, big sister. So we're gonna go ahead and get started today. We're having a special edition of the Wyntis Hall Show, but it's not just a special edition of the Wyntis Hall Show. It's like we're having some merging this week. So it's the Wyntis Hall Show, and Trevor got him a show coming out too. I'm telling you, this is gonna be a banger. Y'all gotta stay tuned for Trevor Truth Talks. Trevor's tasing. We're trying to come up with a name. I'm gonna help Trevor with a good name with his Republican show.
Trevor's tasing. That might be a good one.
Look, I'm gonna hit him all day with the Republican jokes. Come on, Trevor. Trevor, introduce yourself.
Howdy, I'm Trevor, and
you gotta put a mic in.
No.
You gotta feel like you really on the air like that.
Yeah,
I can't. Okay, leave it.
I broke it.
Oh, see, Trevor.
See.
There
I
you
told
go.
you, I touch it, I break it.
There you go, Trevor. There you go.
I am Trevor, and I'm the guy that breaks things.
Trevor, you are not the guy that breaks things, Trevor.
Okay. But
tell me who you are, Trevor.
How do you introduce yourself? All right.
You say I'm Trevor Berryhill, and
I recently ran for your state rep.
Right.
And now I'm more interested in educating people until the next election cycle.
Right. You telling them you're still gonna be active in the community and all of that.
I'm still around.
Right. That's what you're telling them, Trevor.
I think they see I'm still around.
Right.
I'm here.
And that's what we're trying
I
to
could be
highlight.
sleeping in.
Yeah, like me, Trevor. But unfortunately, we got to get out here. We gotta keep the people. We gotta keep the people in tune with what's going on.
Oh yeah.
And we still got a hot topic out there, Trevor.
Uh,
It's still a.
we got a few of them.
Yeah, we got a few. We're gonna touch on whatever you want to touch on today, because I'm trying to like bring you in with
What do I want to
Trevor's
touch on?
with Trevor's new show. Trevor.
What I want
Trevor
to touch on is the big lie right now.
Uh-oh. Which one?
Oh yeah, there's a dozen of them, right? No,
Which lie? Which lie?
the degree that doesn't exist.
You know what, Trevor? That is so amazing to me. I did a show the other day about the degree that doesn't exist. And I think the media is doing a very great job of covering that up. Don't you think so?
So
He done had like four, at
two or three
least,
questions and then no follow-up.
no follow-up, no.
Just take the man at his word.
But Trevor, he's been in front of the press. I think it was just yesterday when they did the big blight. You got to go live everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So he did the big blight announcement. And it was all the media standing out there. And not one question about, excuse me, Mr. Mayor, why did you lie for 28 years about having a degree?
Right? I mean, not only was it something that was on city page when he was a councilman,
Mm-hmm.
it followed him going into,
Wait a minute, Trevor. You said it was on the city page when he
or
was
not city page, but it was,
on his bio?
yeah.
But he said a staffer did it, so I took
Yeah,
it.
how did it follow for that long? Because it was also up on the state's website.
But they didn't have a staffers when they was on city council.
I mean, do you have Mr. Mason's phone number?
Davina, did you do that? Davina, Janelle. Maybe y'all was Davina, you the city clerk. I know you didn't write that bio, did you? She know I messing with her. I love it.
I mean, and Judy, if you're here, do you have a staffer? I don't think that City Hall has
Trevor?
council members.
Trevor?
Yes.
Ain't Judy. Trevor want to know if you got a staffer.
I've never heard her say she has a staffer,
Me
but
either.
so I mean, the phantom degree and the phantom staffer.
Mhm.
It sounds like a great mystery novel, doesn't it?
Phantom degree and fantasy staffer. Oh, who is Marty Berryhill?
Oh, that's my dad.
Hey, Dad.
That's the old man.
All right, he's on here. He's listening.
But it's strange. I wonder who actually wrote it, because we both know that City Council doesn't have staffers.
City council doesn't have staffers.
And then whoever wrote it, it somehow followed him from City Council to State Rep
Mhm.
to Mayor until July, where it was quietly scrubbed from the city website.
Right. But we knew it was coming out. They got those fake emails. I'm sure you probably get them too.
Oh yeah.
And they had said something about this last year, and nobody picked up and ran on it.
No one cared.
Um,
It only matters during election season, apparently.
yeah, it's like we could have probably did something about this, but then now that it's come out, and I wonder how all of the other people that have ran for office, they had to withdraw from their campaign, they had to resign from their position. How do they feel?
Wasn't there just a lady in Ann Arbor that had to withdraw or step down or?
Yes. She was I want to say communications director, something at U of M, right? In Ann Arbor.
Can't remember, but apparently she said she had a bachelor's in communications through social media.
Right, but she didn't have it.
She didn't have that, and
Yeah.
she had to step down.
Yep, because she
Had
didn't
to.
have the qualifications for the
Had to.
job. Even though, well, see, here's your dad. Was the degree that he had supposedly had?
What was it? Communications engineer?
I don't know.
I think I had it up on ABC 12.
Hey, Shardy, thanks for joining us today. Share
Let me
it.
pull this up.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. We are live today.
Da-da-da-da. Studied communication. That's all it says. Studied communication at Saginaw Valley,
Right.
but did not complete a bachelor's degree.
But before that, it used to say,
A recipient of a bachelor's degree from
Yeah.
Saginaw Valley College.
that's what it said. That's what it said, Trevor. That's what it said.
I'm going with one of those screenshots, because everyone screenshots everything these days. If you could post a link to that.
Oh yeah, but it was on the city page, like you said, before they took it down. But you know what the crazy thing is? You don't even need a degree.
No.
I mean, look at Don Williamson. He just had an 8th grade education, and he bragged on it. Like, look how successful I am with the 8th grade education. He didn't lie about it and said, "Oh, I got a PhD, a master's, and blah 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 blah."
Yeah, I mean,
You know, and it's not about the degree.
no, it's about the lie.
It's the lie. And people are still asking questions about this, and he just will not address it. He said, I said what I said. It was a Stafford. I'm trying to see what Stafford, because the only person I know him working with is either the staff in the council office or either the staffer that was with him in Lansing. And I remember back during that time, it was Candace.
It would be.
Hi, Miss King, Kathleen King. Thank you for joining in.
If he's going to pass the buck like that, if you're going to throw someone under the bus and say that this is not my mistake,
Yeah.
I wonder whose mistake it is, and we should really get a name with it.
Right.
Because
I think we deserve that. Well, you know what?
Least.
They're going to say I don't deserve anything, but I think you deserve that as a Flint resident. How about that? I could shift everything to you. I think you deserve that as a Flint resident.
I'll take that.
You
I'd
deserve
like to know things about who's supposedly leading my city.
Right. Because you want them to be honest and stuff, right?
Yes. So if it isn't about a degree,
right,
which he's just
not
lied
about
about,
a degree, right?
What else has he lied about? What about our ARPA funds? Where are they going? What about the wind funds?
He's using the ARPA funds for campaign funds. I mean, that's just my humble opinion.
Or what about the wind funds? We are down below 8 mil now, and no one on city council can get any answers to where they went. They have to submit very specific written questions to the administration to get very specific answers back.
Yep.
So why aren't we getting these answers? Why does it have to be so specific? What is he hiding and what is he lying about? But that's just some speculation on my part.
Right. And then, you know what else bothers me?
What? Well, a lot bothers you, but I want to know what this time.
Right. Well, what about this whole thing is that it seems like the people, once again, are getting just nothing.
No. But
when we were out walking at Aldrich Place, there was a young man. We asked him for, to support Mayor Weaver for the November 8th election, and he was like, "Are you the mayor now?" And she said no. He said, "Okay, I'm gonna vote for you because I ain't got no relief." He said, "It's been 12 years." I said, "Well, it's just been 9." He said, "Well, it seemed like 12 about the water crisis."
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "People forget about us out here."
Yeah.
And you think about all of those little, like the community-owned Carpenter Road and Howard Estates and the Regencies and Aldrich Place. It's like a community within inside a community.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I just think like Flint residents are just getting
they were only cared about when it is expedient.
Right.
When someone can make political points, such as the Gremlin,
right,
come down here.
What you call it? See, that's that Republican Trevor. Lord, make sure you stay on that side. So you can call her the Gremlin on that side. Go ahead.
Look, if she pulled some of the same stuff as a Republican, I'd still be calling her the Gremlin. Don't feed her after dark, all right?
That's good, Trevor. That's good.
She comes down here and basically exploits our plight and our problems, gets herself elected governor, and then throws billions of dollars at other cities to fix their water infrastructure while we're sitting here drowning in the sludge that comes out of our pipes.
Yeah, yep, that's true.
But hey, she really does care about her own political career.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. I mean, and I wonder, what's so crazy is when she got elected for governor. Did you see my post where she had Dr. Weaver's face painted on the side of her bus?
Yes, I did.
That's crazy.
And then, so apparently now Dr. Weaver isn't politically expedient enough for her, and she's publicly endorsed the Neely.
The Neely. Mayor Neely. We'll give him his credit while he's in office.
That is true. I take that back. Mayor Neely. I should be respectful.
No,
of his
you
title.
can call him whatever you want to, Trevor.
No, I'm just
messing with you. I'm just messing with you, Trevor. You can call him whatever you want to.
But if we can't get straight answers about anything, how can we trust anything coming out of that office?
We can't. You sit
then-
up here and well, you claim you don't lie about a degree. It just happened to pass you for 20-something years, but you never corrected anybody. But you're going the same person that tells us our water is safe. Get out of here.
I mean,
Hi, Satara's mama. Good afternoon.
oh, I love her. She's such a sweet lady.
She's nice.
But yeah, safe since 2017, and yet 1,900 homes still haven't had their pipes replaced. 1,400 of those have not been notified by the administration when repairs are going to take place. How is the water safe then?
But they got to have everything done by September 30th.
Oh yeah, that's going away.
You just saying that's just not going to happen.
That's
You
not,
look at Trevor looking at me with a straight face like, nope, that's
No,
not,
it's
it's not happening.
not gonna happen.
It's not happening. It's not going to happen.
City Hall, our city council can try to extend, but we're already out of funds. No more's coming in. When you talk to, say, state legislature, and we say, hey, the money you gave us to fix our pipes, granted, the lawsuit said you give the money and we will administrate. And you gave the money, you've done your part.
Right.
But we didn't do our part. We didn't get the job done on time, and COVID hit. But we still had time. But we still just didn't oversee well enough to actually get the work done. And will you give us more money? They'll tell you no every time.
That's crazy.
Every time.
But you see, that's what they do.
They're gonna say that we squandered it.
They're blaming it on COVID. That's what they're blaming it on COVID.
I mean,
And that stuff was shut down, but it was outside work.
oh yeah.
But I don't.
And usually digging these holes and trenches to check the lines, that's a two-person job. One person in the backhoe, one person actually down to the trench. There's more than 6 feet. They were working the entire time when they were working.
When they were working.
But we lost 2 years.
Right.
We were given, I think it was something like 6 to do it. This is the 6th year.
Can they get an extension on that? Do you know anything?
That's a
about
court order. We would have to go back to court and ask for an extension through there. That could take time. And then we're still out of money either way.
Right, that's true. So then they take it from the ARPA funds again.
Shifting money around.
Or either they take out a loan that the
Which
citizens
looks
have to
like
do it.
looks like the more obvious or the more expedient route for them to take.
Take a loan out.
And yeah, we just turned into the ATM again.
Well, you get $300. They're trying to get you $300 out.
No. We don't receive jack. We don't get a damn thing. That's not going to your bank account. That's not going to help you any way whatsoever. If you're already caught up on your
Maria,
bills.
hey, Kalita, keep going, Trevor. I'm just shouting people out.
If you're already caught up on your bills, that's great. You get a $300 credit. You may get to skip a month of payment. If you're behind, it doesn't do anything for you, and it doesn't count as a payment.
Isn't that crazy? Like they couldn't. It's like they want double the money because I remember it was Councilwoman Jerry Winfrey Carter. She was like, okay, y'all got 1,200 homes slated to get cut off. Why not use this $300 that you want to give the people as a payment?
Yeah.
And save these people's water. But see, no, they put it on the back end so I can shuffle money from here to the water fund. And then the people still got to pay and that's collecting more money plus the reconnection fee.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not trying to help the people.
No, that's not helping us at all.
No.
I mean, in my case, when I first bought my house, the lady wanted to get out from underneath it. She had a leak.
Okay.
She couldn't keep up with the water bill. She didn't know about the leak. She sold it to us for $3,500.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like being a homeowner for $3,500 is nice.
Wow, right.
But with that came a $3,000 water bill.
Oh, okay.
We fixed the leak. We turned in the receipt of fixing the leak. It was just a blown washer. And we let her know. And she said, okay, that's great. I've already got a home elsewhere. I'm fine. Okay, well, thank you very much. So we showed the city we did the repair and they wrote off half of that. I'm still paying on it. That $300 water credit would bring me down to $200 left on there. That really does absolutely nothing.
Not jack.
And for people who are at the same point that I was, because disrepair or, there's a problem with the line in your yard and it's just leaking into your yard and you don't know about it, which I've talked to several people, things like that have happened. That's only 10% of what they owe.
See,
10%. That $300 ain't gonna buy your kids no Christmas presents because you still owe the city so much.
Right. Then I heard Well, now he's the president. President Pfeiffer said, well, this is $300 that people can have to keep back in their pockets and then use for another bill. Yeah, we already robbing Peter to pay Paul to pay for bills. I mean, unless you got the secret money tree in your backyard. I know it's not in my backyard. I tell people I seen the first boy in Grand Blanc, okay?
My dad said he had a lot of friends that might have had a money tree, but none of them gave him seeds or told him how to grow one. And so he couldn't pass that information on to me.
Right.
But, Councilman Pfeiffer, I really do like the man. He's a straight shooter. He often doesn't get involved in a lot of the drama that our city council does, but I don't see any extra $300 here, Mr. Pfeiffer.
I think what am I doing? I am getting to know Mr. Pfeiffer again. And just, I don't think I gave him a fair chance the first time. I was hell bent on Griggs getting back in, which, yeah, whatever, So let's see how Mr. Pfeiffer does for his community, and I hope that he does a good job.
Everyone on city council, at least to me, is new.
Mm-hmm.
Even Judy, as a politician, as someone.
You don't call her Auntie Judy.
I usually call her Aunt Judy, but in this case, it's going to be straight Aunt Judy straight Judy.
Straight Judy.
Actually, Councilwoman Judy. Let's give her the respect.
Yeah, let's do. But
Just
Trevor said, put some respect on his auntie name, Councilwoman Judy.
Just like Councilman Pfeiffer, Councilman Mays. Anyway, as a politician, I'm just getting to know her, just like the rest of the community, and so all of them pretty much have a clean slate right now with me.
Right.
The ones that I have met in person and spoke to, really nice folks. Now it's just keeping an eye on their voting record to see where their votes lead and how it helps or hurts our community.
And that's so crazy to me, because I know you did your homework when you was running for state rep, and to see how the state rep now did vote.
Doesn't at all.
Trevor's like, never.
Well, let's see.
No, Trevor, you ain't even got to pull it up. I know this is a sore spot for Trevor.
We're going to play some math real quick.
This is a sore spot for Trevor, because she doesn't vote. And then when Mayor Neely was state rep, he voted. I thought he was a Republican the way he voted, especially when it came down to Planned Parenthood and stuff like that. Listen, let me read some of our comments while Trevor is doing that.
Yeah.
So, Satara Mama, she said it's hard to give respect to someone who does not respect you individually or collectively, and that's very true, because I feel like you don't respect me when you lie, and if you lie to me, I'm cutting you off quick. Even the last few months, my cutoff game that got strong. So when you tell a lie, you deserve to get cut off, because you don't respect me for looking at me and lying in my face.
Trust takes a long time to build,
right.
A second to break,
right,
and a lifetime to fix.
Repair. Yep, you're right. Absolutely.
We've been lied to so many times in just this small space by one person. I don't think there's ever going to be a repair, at least for me to trust him.
Right. And it's so many lies been told. I think we just got accustomed. To hearing the lies, and then are we confused?
Here. We are so apathetic.
Right.
Well, let's take a look at our primaries for mayor.
Yeah.
We are a city of about 87,000 people.
Yep.
If we discount people who are unable to vote, which would really just be people in state incarceration and children, we're probably, now mind you, this is an estimate, I don't have exact numbers, about 60,000 people. 1/5 of our voting population actually voted. That means 4 out of 5 people you bump into on the street don't care enough
to vote,
to just put a mark on a piece of paper.
Right.
And then something I found out yesterday, you know how elections work when it comes to delegates, correct?
Correct.
Most of our precincts in and around Genesee County for both parties, Democrat and Republican, have no delegates. No one cared enough to become a delegate. So the parties are going to have to go out and appoint them.
That's almost unheard of.
Not from what I hear. From here, it's kind of common.
Well,
people
from
just
here,
don't care. Yeah, if you go elsewhere in the country.
That's what I'm talking about. No delegates. We have delegates even for our little convention within my own
city. Burton has 0. side. Same one. You're a guy that actually listens to folks. You will listen to people when it comes to your vote as a delegate.
Right.
Reach out to the party proper and ask. Because if no one else is going to run and they're just going to appoint someone, then it might as well be you.
Exactly.
A man that came out here and played a little bit and actually worked a lot. The man went door to door down in Burton. He actually came out to several of the candidate interviews.
Mm-hmm.
So he should be going out and at least being a delegate for his
Right.
party.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to do the same in mine for the 33rd precinct.
I think you deserve it.
Yeah.
Let me know how I can help you.
Oh, that's just the party you're gonna vote internally, and then I'd be going up to Lansing and casting a vote.
I'll come with you and talk to the party. Wait a minute, we got some more comments on here. Miss Maria Porche, ooh la la, that's my French Maria. She said, no pipes to my home have been replaced. Do I pay for my own? Yes, because they're not even replacing the main pipe in the street. They just replacing the
just
like they replacing, they leaving a messed up pipe, like this the pipe, and these are the pipes that go to your house, and this is the one they fixing. But this was still messed up, and the old one that messed up all the pipes in your house. So what good is this one doing? But hey,
ain't nothing.
I'm not a scientist.
Well, let's also take a look at how ineffective and inefficient they are. They have removed over 23,000 pipes, replaced them. Only 10,000 had lead. They are hit or miss. They are literally a coin flip away from removing the right pipe and saving lives, or removing the wrong pipe and costing money. A coin flip away.
Well,
but how about we let Miss Wyntis here be the bright side, and I'll just go ahead and be the bearer of bad news. Don't have hope in the city to fix nothing right now. Just don't. No.
Well, they doing all of these press conferences every day.
Yeah, these press conferences, you know what does work? People. You know what doesn't do work? A people in front of a camera.
Okay, well, I'm talking to the resident right here. Trevor about to have a banger talk show coming out, because Trevor just gonna hold back. Listen,
hold back for what? Oh, if we want to see me not holding back, legislative session for Representative Neely was 243 days out of the past 2 years. She missed over 200 sessions. 200. She only went to 43 there and about. That is votes not cast for you in this district. That is where you are getting ignored. When I went to the candidate breakfast where I first met Dr. Weaver, it was State Senator Cherry who noticed that Flint wasn't getting any relief in our retirement funds.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was no, it came from the House to the Senate. There was no one in the House to speak for us because someone was on a government paid vacation of some sort for the last 200 some odd days. But we'll let that sore spot just sit there and fester for a while.
Wow.
And her husband is the mayor. Interesting. I guess.
Mind my business. Let me go over here. So, Miss Maria said again, the credit goes straight to the city. So who benefits? The city. Damn, yeah,
not you.
That right there.
You might not have to pay $300 on the back end. At the same time, it doesn't count as a payment. It doesn't go into your wallet.
Right. And then Tyra Mama, she said, we have not used our power to demand and command. Therefore, we haven't gotten anything. And here we are 6 years later. No, it's 8 years later, still paying for something we cannot use. Your dad said, also, don't forget that credit money is taxable.
Oh.
What is he talking about, Trevor? Tell us what he's
So,
talking about.
city gives you a credit in any sort way or anything like that. It is taxable. So whether you are receiving the money in hand or it's going onto your account, you can receive a tax on it. Now, whether the city plans on doing that or not, I haven't read, but it could be done.
So you mean to tell us they're going to do the old Snoopy Snoop and give you $300 but have this special tax and you only going to get $167?
Usually taxes are around 14%, but yeah, you would receive, you would end up actually having to pay out of your own bank account that tax. So you'd come out poorer in the end. And let's face it, here in Flint, we're all poor. But
me too.
I mean, that's just how things roll. Speaking of taxes, did you know that the city cannot tax marijuana dispensaries inside the city?
Oh, that's why they all moving to Flint.
Well, it's Michigan state law. But so the city takes the time, takes the effort, and takes basically the risk, and then gets a pittance paid back by the state.
What?
Yeah.
So we got like 162 marijuana dispensaries, growth facilities. But I heard Mount Morris did really good with that big growth facility that they got. Now this is street talk. I don't know how true it is. On so I'm gonna say allegedly, on the corner of Clio and Carpenter Road. It's a big growth facility, and they said they cut some type of deal with Mount Morris that they like are giving them more money for letting them house that growth facility. So you telling me
That might be a difference, but when it actually comes to dispensaries, so actual weed dealerships per se.
weed dealerships?
Yeah, well, I mean, you go in there and they got, strains in there. Yeah, this is the Porsche, this is the Corvette. All right, this is a dealership to me now. Anyway.
Okay.
Excuse me. But yeah, the city cannot tax any of the sales there. Nor I don't think the city gets to tax any more than it normally could for the property that it's on. So what is the name of that one? Sozo's or whatever, used to be a bank.
Zoho.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
That
about.
one that costs the city like $1 million plus to get everything done for all that.
What you mean cost the city?
Oh, what was it? I think the city took up the land and then sold it at a discount, I believe it was. Don't take that as gospel.
Then they had to fix that pipe or something.
Oh God, yes, that one that threw my back out.
See, I know what to tell. I know what to tell Trevor to get him going. I know what to get him started.
Yes, so all that money accumulative into that area, and the city benefits not a nickel off of it. Not a nickel.
Not a nickel.
No.
Man, Trevor, this is crazy. How did it make you feel? Like all of this at
Oh,
once, Trevor,
man.
as a resident, like you staying here in Flint and this bam, 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 water crisis, and then no pipes getting fixed. And boom, here come the degree. Like,
what's really most aggravating about that degree, though, is our local media, aside from small groups such as this or other individuals who have questions.
he's talking about A10 News Media Group. Shout out to A10 News.
Yeah, 810, Mr. Mickey, or just individuals who go live. Our local media is not asking the question of what Stafford. They're not asking the question of how this got by for so long. They're not asking any of these questions, or even if he was aware of it sooner, there is no follow-up. It's just taking a man at his word.
Do you think they were told not to?
Do I think they were told not to? That one's an iffy, because he used to work in that industry, right? So maybe he has a friend. Or maybe they just don't care.
I think they care, but I think it's just only certain things that they can.
They're not showing the same scrutiny toward him that they would toward anyone else.
Imagine Mayor Woodrow Stanley not having a degree.
Imagine if I said I had a degree just this most recent election cycle. Could you imagine the hell that would rain down on me?
Yeah, they would have tore you up too.
Oh yeah, tore up from the floor up. But
nephew of Councilwoman Judy Priestley.
God,
And
she would rip me apart.
Yeah, but they would attach her to it. That's what happened here. I just believe he was collateral damage. Tudor Dixon. That's your girl, huh? Tudor.
I'm not gonna put my name on her.
No.
No.
I'm not gonna put my
So
name on
look,
Tudor.
there are only two people throughout the entire state, throughout the entire ballot, that I'm willing to say I openly support. Because I have some trust and I have some hope for them. First would be Dr. Karen Weaver. The next would be Mr. Michael Clack.
Okay.
Those are the only two that I'm willing to put my neck out on the line for.
Right.
Anyone state level, governor, whatever, I'm not gonna say yes or no. Because I've personally met these two. We've shared ideas and I've gotten honest feedback. And even if it's something that wasn't agreed to, it was an honest and open discussion where I was talking about some ways of bringing in revenue to the city. Dr. Karen Weaver goes, I don't like that. I don't
You
think
know
I'll do
what?
that.
That's
And
what amazes me about
that
her.
was respect.
Yeah, because she'll sit down and I'll be like, what about this, and this? And she'll say, no, Wyntis. I'm like, no.
And she at least gives you a reason for it.
Right, she gives you a reason. But you should want people around you all the time that's going to be a yes man. And that's what a lot of people,
I
they
like
yes
dissenters. I like people who challenge me in my way of
people.
thinking.
Right.
And that is honestly what I see with her. She has people around her that will challenge her way of thinking, who will say, all right, Doc, I don't like this idea of yours because of X.
Mhm.
And her being, the person running, she can go, okay, I've heard your suggestion. I'm choosing to listen to you, but I'm going to do my own thing. Or she can go, you know what, that's a great point. We're not going to do that.
Right. And she's just been, this election, she's really been focused on the people.
Mhm.
You've walked with her.
Yep.
You've seen the responses that the people give her. I know I have.
Walking with her is somewhat of a chore, though.
Is it sure?
Yeah, because she don't act her age.
Oh my
She acts younger than me. That woman does.
Man,
Someone slipped a Duracell in her because she does not stop moving.
Don't get me started on her getting up at 5 o'clock, exercising, and her coffee, and then she walks literally. It's like at 4 o'clock. Oh, where are you going walking at today? Oh, we already been out to 4 or 5 places.
Mhm.
Like this is what she does. But the response back that she gets from the people on the streets is just amazing.
Oh yeah.
And I love that. And they love her. Like yesterday, this one lady, she went back inside. She had to go put on her little hair. And she said, hold on, let me get my phone. I want to take a picture with the mayor. These people were excited that she took the time just to come around and say hi to them. Meanwhile, your mayor was in Detroit at the at the auto show gala with I seen him do a TikTok with Mayor Marcus Muhammad from Benton Harbor, and they sent him there. We're sorry for what happened in Jackson, Mississippi. You got issues here.
Yeah.
Your issues not over here. Don't be telling nobody else you sorry. We still sorry here.
Yeah. That's in many ways. I hate going on foreign policy, but everyone's so worked up about Ukraine, but our infrastructure is looking like Russians bombed it without a damn Russian bomber.
Right.
Look, you got Mickey over there.
Sorry, Mickey.
No, right. I agree with
I mean, how about we take care of ourselves first? And while everything going on is terrible, how about we look to our own home before we start taking a broom to someone else's? Whether that's elsewhere in the country, elsewhere in the state, elsewhere in the world, let's just take care of our home first.
Hey, Tupac said it best: we got money for war, but not money to feed the poor.
No.
I'm telling you, this is crazy.
It's mind-boggling.
Right.
Where the other part of that interests me is the man isn't in the city at all. He's at a gala. Whereas we have people who have questions that need answers, and it may not be about his degree. You know what? We'll just set that off the table for
All
now.
right, we're gonna put the degree over here.
All right.
Wait a minute, it's no degree.
Oh yeah.
So we can't put no degree nowhere.
Yeah. It's the phantom degree. It's here, but it's not.
Right.
There I go breaking stuff in. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So, what about?
Let's see. I'll fix it for you. Boom.
Yeah, because I touched it, it dies. All right.
Okay.
But what about how soon until our pipes get fixed? How soon until our blight gets done? How about how soon until we can get an honest and straightforward budget?
Oh, the budget. What y'all got? Y'all already approved the blank check, and it's nothing.
Yeah, exactly. It's not honest or straightforward. How about we get a time scale on some of this stuff?
Mm-mm.
No, that's not going to happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Or how
You're
about
gonna get TikToks and press conferences every day.
when are we going to start looking at ways to save money?
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I talked about with the doc was instead of contracting out all these blessed garbage trucks, how about the city uses some of that $10 million a year that we pay these folks and buys a fleet of trucks ourselves, hires our own trash collectors.
So they're trying to buy something from Mount Sarah.
They're trying to, how many cars are they buying from them, and why was it not an open bid?
Well, the lady said she took the bids, she took the RFPs around to the dealership.
Yet
She
several
drove them around.
dealerships deny that ever happened.
Well, Well, she said she.
Well, she said, well, I'm not taking people at their word no more, just like I'm not taking the mayor at his word of that wasn't me. But that's me. And I'm
dealerships said they didn't get it. They didn't get the bid on it.
Several.
I mean, you need to call Auntie Judy on that so she can ask them why. Did they pass that? They didn't pass that the other day, did they?
Which one?
$500,000 for the cars for Al Sarah. Or was that passed already?
I can't tell you honestly.
No, we gotta find out.
That was not on my last discussion with Aunt Judy.
Yeah, we gotta find for Councilwoman Judy.
Yes, Miss Aunt Councilwoman Judy.
We gotta find out what's going on with that. But see, it's never any repercussions. It's like, oh well, she's married to the salesperson, and
yeah, like.
And that's the first I heard about it. I thought that was slick. When they said, how did the RFP get out? She said, oh, I drove them around to the dealerships. You did not take one down here to Skip and Willie on Saginaw Street by Graceline. They did not receive one.
So, number one, why isn't it out in the open? Something that can be traced, such as an email or a fax. Because just taking someone's word of, I drove it there.
You just said it because it can be traced.
Well, I like my government open.
Well,
they don't like their government open.
No. And then what kills me, I was listening to part of it this morning. I'll be skipping forward to that community update. You listen to your mayor's community update?
No, I can't trust it.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
But he had they got to praying and he said, you know, we should be talking about unity and bringing the city together, and then when you fast forward a little bit, he was like, yeah, and I got a real economic development leader who has a real title and not just down there trying to get paid. You know, that's showing decisive. You know, quit with the little cheap shots. You know, you want them unified, but then you still want to show cheap shots. Throw cheap shots, and then when they get thrown back, and then they're like, oh, the Weaver camp, they're miserable people.
At this point, honestly, I think a lot of unity is off the table. Everyone already knows who they're voting for. Look, let me be honest.
Man, Trevor got a banger show coming out. I'm telling you, that's all I keep saying.
Unity is off the table.
It's off.
It's off, Mickey.
Off.
It does. It's like that degree. It just doesn't exist right now.
Right. But at least we ain't lying.
Unity, y'all not lying.
We're not lying about it. The unity is off the table.
Miss Maria said, okay, that doesn't not move and give them what they want. Gentrification, you're right, but you can't move. We got too much going on right now.
No.
Don't stay here.
No, don't move. You see, because unity may be off the table right now. Mm-hmm. It is an election season. Everyone's going to be taking shots at each other.
Right.
After the election, though, we're still one community.
Man, we said that the last time. That didn't happen.
Right.
Well, then we got to try harder. Because if you just give up on it, then what is all your experiences here except for nothing?
But it takes from both sides, though. You can't just be expecting this side and then not this side. Because like what the problem is, like what Wyntis was just saying, you got his supporters taking shots. Oh, they pull up articles on Dr. Weaver and everything. You go pull up, that's old. He took care of that.
Right. Right, that happens all the time. Yeah. Like you just pulled up an old article or an old text or an old picture, and then, but you know, like you said, it depends on who do it.
When it comes to, all right, I'm just gonna say unity's off the table. But if he's got a real economic advisor, how come our inflation here is still so bad? How come we don't see any new businesses popping up?
Well, he just got it. Hell, this is what, the fifth one, ain't it? And then we just got a new communications director. We just got a new grants person.
That office is just a revolving door of jobs. I'm pretty sure at this point I could walk in and say I want one.
God, you can walk in and say I got a degree and I'm cool.
I would only last a month just like everyone else, but I could then say I work for the city.
Why are the people leaving like this? Now the only thing they could say about Dr. Weaver, a couple of her people stayed outside the city, but they were still there the whole tenure. Mm-hmm. And then after she wasn't successful as mayor again, they all still stuck together. And now they still all, you know,
Well, let's take a look at it
communicate.
like this, right? So whether they live in the city or not,
What happened to the former communications director? Becky Brown, we don't know. That's what we're trying to
there's the
find
right
out.
questions, but
but get your city council to ask them. We don't know.
the city
First
council
it was-
probably don't know neither.
It was
The mayor probably still works with
Marjorie Raymer, the first one. Then I think they had somebody in between there, and then it was the Mrs. Kiana Towns Williams or Williams Towns or some whatever her name is. And then now it's a new one. So
I got the question for y'all then. This for y'all.
this for
Okay.
us.
Okay, this for y'all. Well, how would you feel going in and you got to go to council and then defend the lie?
Oh man.
And you
I
work for the
wouldn't.
administration. How would you feel going in? You got to go down here and like the one lady, I can't think of her name, who was just at council and said she went out and drove them, as far as them, what was supposed to
Them
be
RFPs around.
to the dealership.
Yeah. I don't even know who that
You know
was.
what?
Who was that? That's the new purchasing director or something.
But
right?
I'm saying,
How would you feel?
how would you feel?
Well, I just said I wouldn't, and that's probably why. Well, no, I can't say probably. If I were in their shoes, I would leave, because I can't stand that. I can't stand having to go up and lie for someone else, and hurting my credibility, hurting my principles.
Right, but you know what, Trevor?
I don't care how much money they're getting paid,
I know,
and
I
it's a
get
government
that.
salary, so it's not that much.
And I get that, and I get all of that. But what if you are the breadwinner for your family, and you can't just quit and walk out and get a job tomorrow? So you sitting there, you really sitting there like, I drove him around. That's the quickest way to say. I mean, you know that if I know, but I'm saying you know that like if you don't do what you're supposed to do, he is going to retaliate against you.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting up there and I'm gonna tell the people I drove him around. I mean, what else you gonna do unless you got another job? I'm just being honest. Just like Mike Brown. Was it? I can't remember if it was Mike Brown. Whoever the Brown man was, it Mike Brown?
I'm not for sure, but it was one of them.
One of the Browns. He said he was scared during that garbage contract. He said he was so scared of the mayor, he had to go and he shredded the documents. He said that's how scared he was.
For losing his job.
Yeah, he was scared he was gonna lose his job.
Like, I can't put myself in that position because I haven't been there in so many years. I can only say how it is for me
That's
now.
right. And Mr. Tyra Mama says some things are better than money. And you're right. And you absolutely right. But you got people out here that are desperately struggling, and then they get caught up in council and they get caught up in this lie with him. I think sometimes they just don't know what to say. I think Mr. Whittaker might actually go back in his room and be mad as hell that he up there against council every other Monday or Wednesday asking all these questions, and he really don't know what's going on.
Yeah, if it was my job to explain things to people but not be given the answers, I'd be throwing a fit. I couldn't take it for long. And if the man is truly backed into a corner and he has no other way to support his family, no other means, then I feel sorry for him. I really do. And honestly, he can do something I can't.
But you know what, like if you think about it, like you said, these are good paying positions, and they have degrees and
Supposed to.
supposed to, credentials to back them up. They could be like Mr. Huey Newsom and say, you know what, I don't have to deal with this. I can go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Harvard graduate. I can go anywhere in the world to work.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He can do, I mean, like the other 20 people that then left from down there, 25 or 30, they just, everybody, like the old, what was her name? Joyce McClain? Mickey?
Mm-hmm.
Was she the purchasing director?
I think so.
She said she had to leave because the things that she was being asked to do was compromising her morals.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes down to anything, ask yourself how loyal you are to something, right?
Right.
And then ask yourself, what would cause me to not be loyal to it anymore?
Right.
If you say nothing, your morals are screwed. They are.
Mm-hmm.
you have to stay true to yourself and to your morals. You have to be honest with yourself. And if something is forcing you to cross that line, then you just need to stop.
Right.
So if that's what she did, if she said, look, this is compromising who I feel I am, and she left, then all I've got is, admiration for her, because that is brave and that is strong.
Right.
And it's just one of those, I can't understand how these folks in City Hall are working with so little information, and then City Council is supposed to work off of the little information they get from these department heads or from the administration. Like, how are the people, as Mr. May says, Councilman May says,
Happy belated birthday, Councilman Mays.
Oh. happy birthday, but the people that control the purse strings, how are they supposed to make decisions, positive, impactful decisions that affect, 80-something thousand people without all the information?
They can't. And then what they doing now is the same thing that Griggs used to holler about for 3-4 years. He was on there. They sending up these resolutions at the 12th hour.
Mm-hmm.
Like they get there for council and here go a paper flipped over at their desk like, oh, we need to pass this by tomorrow or we're gonna lose some money. Come on now.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're gonna have to lose some money to prove a point.
Yeah.
It's no way in the world I would have passed a blank check budget.
No. Because
If they would have went back and said, I'm gonna give you $5,000 until you gave me a detailed budget, he would have came up with a detailed budget.
Mm-hmm. And it's so hard to get any information. Yeah, last time you and I spoke, I told you about those FOIAs.
Yep, you got them yet?
No, both denied. Denied. There is no such.
Now tell the listener audience again, what was the FOIAs about?
So the first one was a request for every contract that used city, state, federal loan and donation funds to rehabilitate our water infrastructure here in Flint.
Yeah, denied.
That one, I wanted a line by line description of each expenditure.
Yep, denied.
Denied. The second one was a copy of each and every contract related to the rehabilitation of the water infrastructure here in Flint. Denied. They have not given me a reason for the second denial, though.
How
They
can
just
you
said
even deny a resident asking questions about his money? You're a taxpayer. That money is your money.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how you can be denied information about your money. That's like you going to the bank and the bank not telling you how much money you got in the bank.
Yeah. And then we wonder why we're being taxed so much.
Right.
Why our water bill is so high. Why our property taxes are absolutely astronomical, especially for the areas that we live in.
Because they're trying to tax you out.
But we can't find any honest point twos. Nothing is actually telling us. And when you ask questions, you are denied and you're just slapped down. And it's gotten to the point where I may or may not lose my temper and decide to submit 20 or 30 at once and just flood that office.
Oh, they ain't gonna do this. Gonna sit it over there with and that May saying that pile of 5,000 and put it under the bottom.
That's fine. Because how does it look when a citizen asks for information and then is constantly denied?
It looks horrible. That's what I'm saying. Like, how can you be denied about your own money?
I have no problem being petty, and I have no problem screaming.
Trevor gonna have a banger show, y'all.
I have no problem screaming that from the rooftops. Hey, I've asked for information time after time after time after time, and I keep getting told no. Why am I not entitled to information about my money from basically my employees?
Trevor said his employees, you work for me.
The city, they work for all of us. They are our employees.
Yeah. But
oftentimes they like to forget that. They like to think that an elected position is electing someone to be hired. No. I am trusting you to be my subordinate to get the things done that the city needs to get done.
That's right.
I mean, so
but you can't trust.
If they keep forgetting that, then I'll keep doing my best to help them remember.
Now, where do you submit your FOIAs to?
So you download the form online. I usually use a PDF application to fill it out because my handwriting looks terrible.
Okay.
And then you just go straight to the front office. As soon as you enter the doors to City Hall, on the right, there's a nice lady sitting at the desk. You tell her you have a FOIA to submit, she takes it. That's all you do.
Okay.
And whenever you submit a FOIA, make sure that everything that you put on there, all the information you want, has to be specifically worded.
Okay.
So you can't just say, I want to see budget. Well, budget for what?
Right.
What are you trying to narrow in on that budget?
So who approves and denies? The
That
legal
goes
office?
through the legal office.
Okay.
And there is one person in there, I've yet to catch a name, but one person in there that reviews, approves, or denies.
Okay.
The problem that a lot of people are going to find is that there is a fee associated with it, and they charge you per 15 minutes of man hour. So every 15 minutes, they associate a charge.
Wait a minute. So,
Every 15 minutes of work, they're going to charge you, I think it's about a quarter.
So if they put in 4 hours worth of work,
Then
they're gonna charge you. So you
like
requesting
$16.
right, but you requesting money. You requesting information about your money, but they're gonna charge you to collect that information for you.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I learn something new every day.
That policy recently changed as of July 1st. It used to be per man hour. Now it's every 15 minutes.
Oh, July 1st of this year.
Yes.
Is that a chart or something, or?
I just received it in an email in nice big bold red letters. And I'm sitting there going, God, how much is this going to cost me?
I wonder what's that in the charter before. That's a good question to ask.
I asked Councilwoman Priestley about it, and she said she hasn't heard anything about it. So
That would be a good one to bring up. Like, we need to wonder where this 15-minute cost came with that.
I mean, yeah, because when it comes to government, it isn't, if it's not in a law, then they can't do it.
Mhm.
It's always been, at least in this country, if it's not in a law, then they are not allowed to do it. So somewhere in charter, it has to have some way of expressing the city can up its fees and charges, or how it applies those charges, or even when.
That's crazy, man. That's a whole nother show.
Oh yeah,
That's a whole nother show. Well, you know what I want to wrap up with? Like, I want to get your feelings on this. I want to get your true, honest, hard feelings, because
I don't know. Every time I let those out, Mickey says I'm letting out.
Oh,
So.
that's okay. Let it out. Go ahead, because this is how your show is going to be. He's going to have a banger. That I say that 1,000 times today. Listen, Trevor, you were a candidate for the 70th District State Representative.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 2014, Omar Sims was a candidate for the 34th District State Representative, along with Eric Mays and a guy named Jeff Bean. Okay. Now, back during this time, Mayor Neely was also running, and it stated that he had a degree from Saginaw Valley State University. Now, how would you feel if you were one of them, just like you were, and you lost to someone who faked a degree?
I'd be livid. I would be I'd be screaming for the resignation. I'd be in front of their office. I'd have a sign. I'd gather supporters. I would even try to sign or get a recall petition started.
This is your mayor.
This is my mayor, unfortunately. A man who for 28 years has gotten away with this. And the deep apathy here has just let it slide. And then when it finally comes out, it comes out on a news source which a lot of people don't trust.
Fox News.
But instead of anyone taking time and critical thinking to sit there and say, hey, I may not trust this news source, let me investigate it myself.
Right.
It is instantly dismissed or is instantly excused.
Right. You've seen that too all over social media. Oh, it's Fox News. Now you guys want to believe Fox News.
Yeah, Fox propaganda.
Yeah, Fox is a lie, but it was on other stations as well.
I mean, any station, anything you hear, it is your job as an intelligent human being to verify for yourself, to verify either your own bias of this is a lie, so you would go look to find that degree, or your own bias of, nah, this might be true, and go look to see if there's any record. Either way, you are exercising your own critical thinking skills and your own investigatory skills
Right.
to be independent and not just rely on something spoon-fed to you.
Right.
I would be livid if someone basically came up with and got elected with false information.
Oh, hey, Councilwoman Priestley, she on here.
Oh, there's Councilwoman Auntie Priestley.
I'm excited.
Yeah, because I seen a couple comments she had. She said if some of yours wasn't in the charter, like she just said CNN isn't propaganda with a question.
I mean, regardless of the source,
I'm gonna have Miss Councilwoman Judy. Can you gonna come on and talk to me? I would love to have you.
But at least you been, not to cut you off, but at least you being honest with what you finna say.
Oh,
go check the source. If they lying, prove them out to be lying.
I don't trust CNN. I don't trust MSNBC. I hardly trust Fox.
I don't trust Fox.
I hardly trust
Republican
Fox.
Trevor.
Hey,
See that?
I don't trust them. So when I do see something pop up on any of those news sites that interest me, I go through and I verify for myself.
Hey, your dad just said never trust one source.
There
He's
we go.
right.
Right.
Boom.
But actually, we had a question for Councilwoman Priestley.
Oh yeah, what was the question?
Hey, Aunt Judy, do you have any staff working for you? Any staffers as a councilwoman? Any direct staff at all, or is it all you?
We'll wait. Because I sure want to know who the staffers are.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's in the budget that city council gets a staff, like at least a direct staff for each individual person. I know their office has people running around.
Right, that's the clerk's office.
That's a different deal altogether.
Right. Oh, see, all me. That's what she said. All
So, the staffer that gave false information must go by the name of, maybe, possibly, I wonder, Sheldon Muir?
Allegedly.
Yeah, we got his own staff.
His own staff. Staff of one.
The staff of one. Yeah, conspiracy, but, well, no, it's not a conspiracy. There's less than 3 people involved in breaking a law. It's just criminal activity.
Why not give up who it is? Is the staff still working for them? Because I mean,
No,
you put it
it's
on
Candace Mushot.
Oh, that's what it is?
Candace was the staffer that was working with him when he went to Lansing, so that's the only staffer that I know.
Well,
but he got that before Lansing, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had it
That's
before
from city
Lansing,
council.
so that's what they said. But when he said staffer, and I knew that city council didn't have any staff. But the people don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. The people get this whole beautiful little story and they don't know the backside to it.
Well, Councilwoman Judy Priestley from the 4th Ward said there's 2 staffers besides Janelle and Davina, but one is a receptionist in their office.
See, but
so there's no
again,
individual staff per individual council member then?
no, so they don't go around writing you don't give them a bio. But this is the thing, what I'm just saying. You don't give them a bio to write for you. Someone had to get this information from you, the source. I can't write Trevor's bio without getting some information from Trevor.
This is very true.
So, if you said you just attended University of Michigan, Flint, I'm not going to put graduated from University of Michigan, Flint.
No, because fraudulent information is, number one, damning to any sort of politics. Number 2, depending on prosecutor, depending on so much, so forth and so on, it could be construed as frauding a government entity. So if a staffer sat there and put down that wrong information, if a prosecutor wanted to be absolutely cretin about it, could be charged. So when you're working government, even when I was working in the Army, when I was a soldier, making sure you have proper information written down, especially on sworn statements. Otherwise, because it's government, they can come down on you like an anvil.
Wow. That's crazy. Well, y'all heard it here again. Keep asking the questions. Do the research for yourself. Just don't take one source for truth. I mean, now we know that, you're finding out stuff that I've been knowing all along. It's election season. You're going to see everything is good around the city. That's what you're going to see, but we know it's not. I think last week it was because Tanya Burns had went live, Councilwoman Tanya Burns had went live about the shooting on Berkeley. And I
that was
believe
right around the corner from
right
you.
around the corner for you. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe that it was teenagers. I do believe one of them passed away. Don't quote me, but I do believe one of them passed away. Since then, they have found a body laying on 475 by Davidson and between Davidson and Stewart, somewhere up in that area. So we're not hearing about those things. We're not hearing about the riot from last night's football game. I mean, riot between Flint and Beecher. Oh my God!
When they call a game at halftime
They
because of
cut
how
the game
unrowdy it is,
off.
you know it was out of hand.
Did you see them videos out there? It's a video with a girl getting maced, like a half a can of mace, and she was trying to go back in and get her sisters, allegedly, according to Facebook. But then they said they was fighting all under the bleachers. It was a mess. But that's the stuff we're not gonna hear, and we'll see a nice little Facebook, TikTok, whatever about how beautiful the city is, and we're cleaning it up. But it's so much going on. You guys gotta be smart in November when it comes to vote. And I'm just asking people, please don't be fooled about all of this mess that you're hearing about everything is good, because it's not. It's not. Don't be deceived by the pictures and the festivals and the hot dogs and the candy bars. I'm telling you, it's not what you think.
Festivals are for celebrating, and the way we've seen
celebrate.
There we go. Unless we're celebrating riots at high school football games now.
That's true.
We sure showed them.
Right.
Yep, Shardy said he heard about it this morning and it was the fans. Yeah, absolutely, Shardy, it was the fans that was acting up, not the players. They was out there trying to play, but still, these are our clouds over our city. You know, things like that happens that we're not hearing about now. During election season, you will find out, like on the news and everything that he's putting out is positive. And then we don't hear about the killings on Berkeley. We don't hear about the killing in the middle of 475. We just, we don't hear the riots and stuff at the game last night. That's the stuff that Miss Kathy King said, thank God for Tanya Burns for keeping us informed. Yes. Indeed. We don't hear about those little things unless we are on a 10 news media group. That's where the news comes from now. You can't watch TV 12 and Fox 66, and I'm just gonna say it, and all them other stations right here is where you get the truth at. A10 News Media Group, no doubt. We're gonna tell it just like it is. Republican Trevor and Democrat Wyntis.
We're just folks that are concerned about this community, right?
Concerned, and we got a resident,
you're impacted about what happens here. This is the socio and economic center of mid-Michigan.
Absolutely.
So whether you live in the city limits or not, what happens here still affects you.
Absolutely. I work here. I would never let nobody take that away from me. I used to be explaining all day and all night about, I live in Grand. The stuff just missed me with that. And they can miss me with all the bull. I don't care anymore.
My old training room sergeant, when we went down to Detroit, we had an armory on 12 Mile. That's where we'd always meet up. Or no, 8 Mile, my bad. And then go up to Camp Grayling. He lives in Grand Blanc. And he used to tell me everything that happens in Flint will ripple out to him. It might take a day, might take a month, might take a year. But whether it's positive or negative, it always impacts him one way or another.
Oh, they're not perfect out there either. They just have some stuff with the football team out there in Grand Blanc. So, I mean, it's stuff happening everywhere. But when we talk about, I'm trying to focus on this election and this mayor's race, we need someone that's going to keep it real with us. We always holler about keep it real, keep it 100, that part, facts. You want somebody that's gonna keep it real with you. And I believe that Mayor Weaver is the best choice November 8th for the mayor of the city of Flint to help get things back and on the right track. Not just for the Democratic side, but for the Republican side. Like you see how she talks to you.
Mhm.
She don't look at you as a I make jokes Republican Trevor because that's our thing. We joke about that, but she just look at you as an average person.
Yeah.
She don't care about you being black, white, Republican, Democrat. She might care about the Tudor Dixon thing a little bit, but
I mean, like I said, I'm not tying my name to her.
Tudor Dixon.
God. That I don't want to.
Your lady cracks me up.
So many jokes, so little time, just like you said. But no, but the fact that having lost, I know, just average citizen with a big mouth.
That's all right.
When Doc Weaver came up to me and asked me for my input,
Yeah, that meant something.
she wants regular folks' input.
Yeah.
Of what to do with the city. How can we make the city more independent from the state?
Right.
How can we make the city money without having to beg, borrow, or steal from our citizens?
Right.
And that really resonated with me.
Right, Trevor, you could be the next Anderson Cooper on CNN.
Oh God, I hope not.
He said, "Oh God, he hope not."
No, I like my hair the way it
Williams
is.
started this way. She started out this way, and she's a trillionaire.
Yeah, but look at Anderson Cooper's hair.
I think his hair is cute.
No.
We get a cute little cut, look.
I'm always going to keep my army.
He said this army hairstyle, man, fun. Trevor, I had fun with you today. It's been a delight having you on. Any last words, Trevor?
No, I think I've gotten just about everything out. But once again, I highly encourage everyone to do your research. Don't just take my word or Miss Wyntis' word or Fox News' word.
What I tell you, call me Miss Wyntis.
Yes, Miss Wyntis. But no, go out and do your own research on everything. Whether you think that someone is a good candidate, look up their proposals and then try using your best judgment to see how those proposals will impact your city or impact your life. And then, or even if you hear a negative rumor, don't just believe it.
Right.
Go forth and do an investigation yourself. You don't need to have a degree, like some of us don't. You don't need to be a detective or a cop. Information's everywhere, and all you have to do is look for it. So I think that's my parting words there.
Right.
Just think for yourself.
Right. Thank you, Trevor. I like that. Think for yourself. I say yesterday is gone. Today is today. And tomorrow is going to be yesterday pretty soon. So tomorrow I'm going to strive to be better than I was today. And I'm just going to end it like that. And on that note, before Mickey takes us out, I do want to say again, my sincere condolences and prayers are with the Antioch Missionary Baptist Church family and the loss of the former pastor, Lewis Randolph. And his funeral services will be Monday at 10:30 at a house of prayer. So we are praying for the Randolph family, the children, Marcus and Rodale. The viewing will be tomorrow, 12 to 7 at Moon's. And then also, if you need just a little more Jesus, join us tomorrow at the Mount Pisgah Missionary Baptist Church, 6415 Cloud Road in Mount Morris, where the Pastor Wallace Hill III is pastor. And tomorrow we got a special guest coming up. We got Pastor Caleb M. Adams is coming. He did the 6th word from the 7 last words, if you guys tuned in for that. So tomorrow we got a lot of stuff going on, and Monday we got the funeral. So I just want to thank everyone for tuning in today. Stay tuned for Trevor, because Trevor's going to have a show coming out real soon, Tasing with Trevor. Have a good one, guys.